Welcome to Mark's Motorsports and Farming Channel. This video, we will continue getting the corn planter ready. The last video you saw of this planter, we're getting all the grease fittings greased, and another important part of maintaining a planter, or you know, any piece of equipment for that matter, is to make sure that the chains are lubed so that they're free and can move like they're supposed to. So that not only applies to a planter, but also anything that depends on chains that help it function, whether it be a baler or basically anything with chains. So with that being said, we'll get started getting the different chains oiled up that this planter has on it. And generally, the areas that you can't reach, once the chain spins around enough and oil gets to the sprocket, then that'll help keep those areas loose that you're not able to reach in advance. And generally, especially with this type of a chain setup, a lot of times when you oil the top part of the chain, then the oil will drip down to the bottom part of the chain that's underneath. So when you're able to basically lube the whole chain that way, or in a case like this, I'm able to reach where it spins around one of the sprockets, or the chain does, and then so I'm able to get more of it lubed. And as long as I'm working in this area, I should point out that there are two different sets of sprockets here, and then that is what determines what type of a population you're planting your seed at. I mean, the newer planters are not necessarily like this. They're the way that I'm reading the newer ones is that it's more of a vacuum system, and where the vacuum kind of forces seed out of a big compartment down different tubes and over to the row unit. And that's just what I understand. I mean, those of you that have that type of planter can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But this particular one, this is what's considered a vacuum planter, but the only thing that the vacuum component of this does is suck the seed into the disc, which spins around and drops it into the open area and into the ground. Whereas the planters that are newer than this, the vacuum might work a different way. And a neighbor of mine had mentioned to me already that there's some sort of spray in a can that you can get, and spray that stuff on and have it do the same job as what I'm doing with this old oil. I guess I forget what he told me it's called, but yeah, we've always just used old oil from, when we change the oil in a car or a tractor or something like that. And so that certainly does work good for keeping chains on equipment lubed. And obviously there's a few more over there that I did off camera before I started this video. Which even if I would still have to go do them, I'd still have to do it off camera just because of how tricky it is to getting to them with how this planter is currently parked in our shed. In which the fact that this planter is parked in a shed would help with some of the things that could go wrong with chains, as far as rusting and so forth. But it's still a good idea, even if you have shed space like this, to come along every spring before you use it and do like I did. Just make sure that all the chains are lubed, and then that helps them to move freely and prevent some sort of breakdown while you're out in the field trying to get work done with it. So with that, that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Getting all the chains on this planter lubed, and the reason behind it. So that should, I think that pretty well does it for this corn planter here, other than making sure that all the tires have the proper amount of air in them, which that's a simple enough job. So I don't think in fact I'm not going to do a video on that, just because, like I said, it's simple enough, and number two, it doesn't necessarily take that much time, especially if if you have the type of tire that holds air over the summer and winter, when it's not being used. So with that, I thank you guys again for watching this video. Stay tuned for upcoming videos. we still have the soybean planter here to both grease and lube the chains, like I've done with this corn planter here. So you'll see a couple of videos on that planter as well. So, and then there may possibly be one more piece of equipment that we have to grease yet. You know, besides the soybean planter, which is sitting right there. Anyway, be sure to click on the like button, and if you haven't already, be sure to click on the subscribe button. And then once you're subscribed, then be sure to click on the bell. You'll be notified whenever a new video is posted. Be sure to follow Mark's Motorsports and Farming channel on Facebook as well. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you later.